Good morning. It is Monday, June 29th, and it's time for Mantra Monday. How is everybody doing today? We are almost at the end of June. It is going to be July 1st on Wednesday. I cannot believe how the time has gone by. So, you've probably noticing something different about me, and I am going through good changes. I am going through some artistic changes. I've been talking to you guys for a while now about, new music that I'm working on. And when I was in Palm Springs this weekend, I had been thinking about shaving my head for a while, and I just did it. So it feels good, and it feels that it is the proper look, the proper direction to be in for what's coming next. So that's my surprise for you today. Also, I'll just mention now that I'm going to be on Instagram at 9:35 doing a live, and then I'll be doing a little giveaway there. So it's always good to get back to basics. I hope you have your coffee or your tea, your green tea, whatever it is that you're drinking. For some of you, it's lunchtime. For my East Coast peeps. So we have been going through a chapter in the Bhagavad Gita called Opulence of the Absolute, or Opulences of the Absolute. So if you go, after this live is over, and you go into the event, I posted some beautiful images which is arising from this chapter, because we're doing text 20 today. And text 20 of the mantra is pretty short, but the purport, the explanation, is very, very deep. So getting right into cosmic consciousness and origins and bhakti yoga, here we go. Okay. So remember, last week it was the beginning of this chapter, and it was the beginning of this conversation, or this exchange between Prince Arjuna and between Bhagavan Sri Kṛṣṇa. Okay, so this verse, text 20, goes something like this. Aham ātmā Guḍākeśa sarva-bhūtāśaya-sthitaḥ. Aham ādiś madhyam bhūtānām anta. Again. Aham ātmā Guḍākeśa sarva-bhūtāśaya-sthitaḥ. Aham ādiś madhyam bhūtānām anta. Synonyms, or word-for-word translation. Aham, I. Ātmā, the soul. Guḍākeśa, O Arjuna. Sarva-bhūta, of all living entities. āśaya-sthitaḥ, situated within the heart. Aham, I am. Ādiś, the origin. Cha, also. Madhyam, middle. Cha, also. Bhūtānām, of all living entities. Antaḥ, end. Eva, certainly. Cha, and. So now for the translation. Oh, I like the way the disco ball is lighting up this morning. So circles and expansions, it's a good way to think about this verse. I am the Supersoul, O Arjuna, seated in the hearts of all living entities. I am the beginning, the middle, and the end of all beings. In this verse, Arjuna is addressed as Guḍākeśa, which means one who has conquered the darkness of sleep. For those who are sleeping in the darkness of ignorance, it is not possible to understand how the Supreme Personality of Godhead manifests himself in various ways in the material and spiritual worlds. Thus, this address by Kṛṣṇa to Arjuna is significant because Arjuna is above such darkness. The personality of Godhead agrees to describe his various opulences. Kṛṣṇa first informs Arjuna that he is the soul of the entire cosmic manifestation by dint of his primary expansion. Before the material creation, the Supreme Lord, by his plenary expansions, accepts the Purusha incarnations, and from him everything begins. Therefore, he is ātmā, the soul of the mahatattva, the universal elements. The total material energy is not the cause of the creation. Actually, the Mahavishnu enters into the mahatattva, the total material energy. He is the soul. When Mahavishnu enters in the manifested universes, he again manifests himself as Supersoul in each and every entity. We have experienced that the personal body of the living entity exists due to the presence of the spiritual spark. Without the existence of the spiritual spark, the body cannot develop. Similarly, the material manifestation cannot develop unless the Supreme Soul, Kṛṣṇa, enters. As stated in the Subāla-Upanishad, Prakriti adi sarva-bhūtānām tar yami sarva-sheshi cha narayana. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is existing as a Supersoul in all manifested universes. The 3 Purusha avatars are described in Srimad Bhagavatam. They are also described in the Sattva Tantra, Vishnu Stutrini Rupani, Purashakayani Ato Vidu. The Supreme Personality of Godhead manifests 3 features: Karanadakshaya Vishnu, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, and Shirodakshaya Vishnu. In this material manifestation, the Mahavishnu or Karanadakshaya Vishnu is described in the Brahma Samhita. Ya Karanarva Jale Bhajati Sma Yoga Nidram. The Supreme Lord, the cause of all causes, lies down in the cosmic ocean as Mahavishnu. Therefore, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the beginning of this universe, the maintainer of the universal manifestation, and the end of all energy. Okay, so I'm going to read this verse again. I am the Supersoul, O Arjuna, seated in the hearts of all living entities. I am the beginning, the middle, and the end of all beings. So there is a lot here. It's a short verse, but it's packed with meaning. And there's a lot of terms and there's a lot of Sanskrit in here in the explanation, which we're going to break down. So, Guḍākeśa. Guḍākeśa is another name for Arjuna. You'll notice as you go through the Bhagavad Gita that Kṛṣṇa and Arjuna address each other by many different names. They know each other very well, and they will address each other by different names depending on the point that they're trying to make or the aspect of the other's personality that they are trying to highlight. So this is very sweet, actually. We have a little experience with this. You know, we may have a nickname, or our parents may have a pet name for us. My mother had a couple of names for me. For example, she either used to call me Pea or Sweet Pea because I was born in April and the sweet pea is my birth flower. But she also had a couple of other names for me. She would also call me Porcupine when I would get kind of prickly, you know, in my personality. So somehow or another she managed to make that an affectionate thing, my grumpiness. And she had another nickname for me as well. She used to call me Reeks instead of calling me by my name that she had given me. Then she would shorten that. So my mother had at least 3 different names for me. I'm sure you have a similar experience. or most likely you do, or your friends have come up with a name for you. So Guḍākeśa is addressing Arjuna as one who has conquered the darkness of sleep. So we're not referring here necessarily to getting a good night's rest. We're referring to the state of ignorance. You know, like right now in our culture, we have this whole idea of being woke, you know, of being awake, of being aware. So you could say, in a way, that this name Guḍākeśa is saying to Arjuna, you know, you've conquered ignorance, you've conquered the darkness of sleep, you are aware of so many things, you are a yogi, you are upholding dharma, you know, you have a conscience, you are soft of heart, you care for others. And because you are like this, that is why I'm going to explain to you my opulences. That's why I'm going to explain to you, because you have the ability, you know, you have the awareness, you have done the work to be able to understand what it is that I'm actually going to tell you. So we are in chapter 10 now. So this whole journey, you know, up to chapter 10 has been a peeling back, has been a breakdown, has been an explanation of what it is to be aware, particularly as a yogi, as a bhakti yogi. What do you have to have, you know, in your game to actually be standing and having a personal face-to-face conversation with the Creator, that we can actually see, who we can actually touch. So this is some super consciousness here. So that being said, Bhagavan here is beginning to explain how he permeates the universe, how he animates the universe, how he is the beginning and the middle and the end of everything. So he's making the point that matter is dead. Matter without the soul animating it cannot exhibit the symptoms of life. Like this body that I have right now, this vehicle that I have right now, I'm using it, my soul is using it, but it's not me. So it is the soul that is animating this particular body. And when my soul leaves this body, the material elements will be left and my soul will move on. So similarly speaking, Vishnu, or I should say Kṛṣṇa, when he wants to animate the material world, the material universes, which he created for our benefit, so we could come here and play and learn and experiment and figure things out, the first thing he does is that in his manifestation as Guḍākeśa as Mahavishnu. Those of you who are familiar with the musician John McLaughlin may remember his band Mahavishnu that he had going on in the 70s. And he used the imagery on the album cover of Mahavishnu laying in the causal ocean. So Mahavishnu goes into what we call a yoga nidra. He goes into a transcendental sleep, and he, if you like, dreams us. So while he is in that state of relaxation and in that transcendental dreaming state, as he exhales, of course, his exhale is extremely, extremely long. From his pores, it is said that all the universes are manifested from his pores. So when you look at the illustration on the event page, I'll also post it here afterwards, but you can look at that. You will see there's this beautiful image of four-armed Vishnu sleeping, with his paraphernalia. He is in space, and surrounding him the artist has illustrated all the other universes as bubbles, as balls. And when you look into those universes, you will see that there is another Vishnu within each of the universes. And this is, Guḍākeśa Vishnu. Okay, this is the second expansion of Vishnu. So to put it in perspective, Kṛṣṇa himself, he's always playing. So when he wants to assist, he actually expands himself into this way that does the quote work of taking care, of maintaining, of creating, maintaining, and finally winding down the material manifestation, the material universe, and the material planets. Because Kṛṣṇa himself, his only job, if he has a job, is to enjoy himself. So this is pretty mind-blowing, and this is one of the ways in which the Lord works. He creates his own assistants, which are non-different than him. So this is what we call Vishnu Tattva. This is the direct expansions of the Lord. So we have Mahavishnu, who has been in that state of yoga nidra, in that state of cosmic sleep, and upon his exhale from his pores, all the universes are manifesting. And within each and every universe, he is also accompanying us. So first, again, he is in Guḍākeśa Vishnu. So now he is laying in the Garbhodak ocean, and he manifests Lord Brahma. So Lord Brahma is actually born from the navel of the Lord. So when you look in the event thing, you will notice this very, very far out painting that Jadharani did. And you will see Lord Brahma sitting on a lotus flower, but he's actually looking down. It's at the perspective of him looking down of Lord Vishnu. After, of course, he sat in meditation for many years and finally had this realization and understands and has been granted the vision to be able to see where he has come from. So Lord Brahma now, his job is to sit in meditation and to create. He is the co-creator of this material universe. So he sits in meditation and he begins to create the elements and eventually populate the universe. There's a very, very detailed description of that in the Srimad Bhagavatam. But this is just giving you, in Bhagavad Gita, the Bhagavad Gita is like a kind of a summary and a foundation for further study and for further graduate study of Bhakti Yoga in Srimad Bhagavatam, in the Vedas. So then what happens? So now Lord Brahma, he creates this material universe. So I'll just talk about the universe we're in, because we are in the smallest universe. Our Lord Brahma only has 4 heads because he doesn't have as much to do as Brahmas in other universes who may have 8 heads or 12 heads or 24 heads and so forth, that have much, much more to keep track of, to keep going on. But be that as it may, our Lord Brahma has 4 heads, and of course each of his heads actually also represents a different Veda. As you can see, Bhakti Yoga and the path of yoga is full of meaning. Everything is related to everything else. Good morning. Leave a comment, let me know you're here. No one's made a comment yet, so I don't know who's here. So everything is full of meaning. You know, nothing is haphazard, nothing is by chance. Even the beautiful symbolism of Mahavishnu lying in sleep on the bottom of the causal ocean in yoga nidra, So there's always these kind of beautiful mirrors, you know. The Lord is always trying to relate to us in some way. He's always trying to give us an entry point because we are made in his image after all. So after Lord Brahma creates the entire material universe and it is populated, then there is the third expansion of Vishnu. And the third expansion again is called Kshirodakshaya-Vishnu. And this takes two aspects. It's pretty interesting. Kshirodakshaya-Vishnu lays within this universe, our little universe. He's like our own little mini Mahavishnu. And he is in, his residence is in Svetadweep. Svetadweep, a dweep is an island. That's what a dweep is. So in Svetadweep, he is lying on an ocean of milk, and he is there with the goddess of fortune, and he is laying on his first expansion, Ananta, or Anantasesha. So that is one aspect of him in this world, and he is there as a presence, as a maintainer, and if things get very, very dicey, Lord Brahma will actually go to Svetadweep and stand on the shores of the ocean of milk and supplicate the Lord, you know, ask for an audience, ask for his attention if something is really out of hand. And that again is when you get more into the 10th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, that whole thing is explained, you know, at the advent of Lord Kṛṣṇa. But the other way that Kshirodakshaya-Vishnu helps us is that he actually expands himself again into Paramatma, or the Supersoul. So the Supersoul, or Paramatma, is what yogis see when they sit in meditation. When they sit in meditation, they actually are able to perceive the Lord that is within the heart, right here. So that means that the Lord accompanies us and actually accompanies all living entities as they go through their material incarnations, as they go through their lifespan. And he is there as a friend, and he is there as a witness, and he is there as Chaitaguru also. Paramatma also has several different names. Chaitaguru means the living guru, or the teacher who accompanies us and is ready to teach us when we are ready to turn to him. And he is there present in the body of the insect, the animals, the flowers, the trees, and of course the human being and all living entities. Excuse me, there's a beautiful illustration of that. And he is also present in the atom, you know, he is the atom. So getting to the last part of this verse this morning, he is the soul of the universe. You could say, or we are saying, or I am saying, Prabhupada is saying, that the Lord himself is saying, and also in this different shastra that was referred to here in the Subal Upanishad, he is saying that he is existing as a super soul in all manifested universes. So this is really beautiful. So this is how this whole chapter, the opulences of the Absolute, begin, where Bhagavan is taking us on a journey. He is telling us a story. He is telling us a story of himself and our relationship to him. And he is starting very, very big, right? He is starting from Goloka Vrindavan. Then he is showing us his expansion as Mahavishnu, his first expansion. Then he is showing us his second expansion. And then he is showing us his third expansion. These three expansions of Vishnu. And it is also known among yogis again that Lord Vishnu is the maintainer, because the hardest thing to do in the material world is to maintain something, right? It's easy to create something and it's easy to destroy something. It's even easier to destroy something, right? But the most difficult thing is to actually maintain something. So that is our verse for today. I think that was a lot to chew on. And then next week when we get into verse 21, then the Lord starts to break it down as to how he is manifesting himself in this universe and coming down to scale for us here on this earth planet as to how he manifests himself here on this earth planet and how we can see him. So I'm going to conclude by reading this verse again in Sanskrit for you. Also, the verse will be posted here on this page at about 9:30. It'll have the Sanskrit, the Roman transliteration, the word-for-word translation, and I went ahead today and I put in the whole purport so you could chew on this and get yourself prepared for next week. Okay, so once again, text 20. Aham ātmā Guḍākeśa, sarva-bhūtāśaya-sthitaḥ, aham ādiś madhyam bhūtānām anta. I am the Supersoul, O Arjuna, seated in the hearts of all living entities. I am the beginning, the middle, and the end of all things. And that, children, was our Mantra Monday. So I'll be over on Instagram at 9:35 a.m. and I'm doing a giveaway this morning over there, trying to give the Instagram peeps some love. If you have an Instagram account and you're interested in the giveaway, I'll see you over there. If not, have a great rest of your week. Be sure to check out the video that I have got pinned to the top of this page. And please make a comment. Let me know what you think. Have you been to Paris? Is it the city of love? Have you fallen in love there? Does it remind you of anything? Does it make you feel good? Does it make you feel like summer? I always love hearing from you guys. Okay, bye-bye now.